Friday, my cup. How y'all doing? We are here. Today is a Tuesday, July 31st. No, July 30th. Sorry, July 30th. Tomorrow's the 31st. Yesterday was a holiday. The last 2 Mondays have been holidays. That's great. But today, back to work. Everything's back to normal. So right now, the dollar is just over 36 at 36.01. $36.01 to the baht to the dollar. It is currently 82 degrees. The air quality is 74. The high today will be 88, which is okay. Low is 78. And the feel-like temperature is 83. And there's 82% humidity right now. So it's not bad, but it is a bit humid. And, you know, the last couple of weeks, it's been kind of rainy and overcast and just not really all that sunny, which is okay with me. I don't mind, because I don't mind sitting inside, doing what I gotta do, whatever that may be, and only going out when I have to go out, and not going out going, oh, what a beautiful sunny day, and then sweating my ass off. Good morning, Jim. How you doing? Good morning, good morning. Good morning to everybody. I'll just get that out of the way right now. Good morning, Sawatdee, Tan Chow, to everyone. But it's rainy and overcast. It looks like it might rain pretty soon. So, you know, that's the way it goes. I don't control the weather, obviously, but I do report on it a little bit. Today I'm going with a little bit different coffee. I'm not going with an espresso. I'm not going with a cappuccino. I'm not going with a cafe latte or cafe mocha. Today I'm going with a straight coffee, which I don't usually do. But this is the kind of coffee where you basically test it out. And this is a Panamaมีอะไรอีก Panama
Ecuador ใช่ไหมครับ
Ecuador
Yes แล้วก็
Indonesia. Okay. So I got a full cup of coffee here. That's what it is. So I'll have that in a few minutes, and they give you the obligatory water. So I'm happy. But, you know, I'll just sip this, which is fine with me. Today we're going to talk about Thailand. And, of course, usually we talk about Thailand, but we're going to talk about something I read this morning. And to be honest, I was like, I don't really know what I want to talk about today. I'm just like, I'm not sure what to talk about. I'm not sure what to discuss. I don't know what to do. And then I saw this article, and it made me think, why Thailand? To me, Thailand is at the breaking point. But the article is called "Why Thailand is Making It Easier for Travelers to Stay Longer." And really, I don't know that they're doing anything that's going to help, because the bottom line is the Thai government wants as much money from foreigners as they can get. That's the bottom line. They want to make as much money from tourism as they can. They don't care if it's 1 million tourists and they're earning whatever billion baht, or if they have a lot more tourists and they have, well, they do care, but up to a certain point. If you remember, I think the high is 40 million tourists in a year. That was a couple of years ago. That was before the COVID. Now they're at 20 million, and they're very happy about that, because they have the rest of the year. They have 5 months left. And so they're like, hey, we should come close to hitting that goal. But you have to think about what effect it has on Thailand's resources, and that's the big thing. And I live here and I do see it, and I kind of wonder if Thailand has already bitten off more than it can chew because of the changes that it's making. Where are you at today? I'm at the same place I am at most of the time, Pacamara Coffee. It rained most of the time I was there last week. I actually appreciate it while touring Wat Arun and the other cool places. Yeah, I mean, you know, it's okay. I don't mind the rain. Now, if it's pouring rain and it's so heavy that you can't really go out and walk around, that's a little different. But usually it rains like that for maybe a half an hour or an hour, and then it slows down, and then it's kind of drizzling, and that's when you can start to go out and about and, you know, do whatever you want. But, you know, I've been to Wat Arun, and it's been really hot. And, you know, when I go to a temple, most of the time I go to a temple, I start looking at things, and after about 15, 20 minutes, I'm like, all right, where's the exit? I'm not a huge fan of temples, but, you know, the Wat Arun is very cool. There are a lot of cool temples, and sometimes, you know, if the weather is okay and there's some shade, it's not that bad. I went to a temple, I forget the name of it now. I mean, I don't even remember the name of the temple, but it's out by Ma Klong Railway, and it was really wild because it was like a violent kind of temple, and they had all kinds of fighters and warriors with they had like staff, they had spears, they had all kinds of things. And I went out there and I thought, wow, this is kind of cool. And I walked around and I was like, all right, you know, it took me maybe 2 hours to walk through the whole thing and see it the way that I wanted to see it. And then I was like, all right, this place is pretty cool. But, you know, after an hour and a half, 2 hours, it's just kind of like, all right, now let's move on. That's just my feeling about temples. I don't know how other people feel about temples, but, you know, I've been to a lot of temples in my life. I'm not a religious person. I usually go just to see about the architecture, to see what it's like. You know, good morning, good morning. Try this coffee here. That's pretty good. All right, so let me get into this. Well, first of all, before I get into the article, I want to talk about something. Bruce, I don't know if Bruce is out there, but thank you, Bruce, for sending me this. You know, it comes out once a year. It's called the Henley Passport Index. And, you know, I went over it last year. I went over it the last couple of years. And I'm going to go over that real quick just to tell you, just to give you an idea, let's see here, of the best passports that a person can have in the world. Let me see, is this 2024? Yes, it is. Okay. Now Thailand is number 60 or something like that. Let me see here. It's way down there. Number 63, Thailand's passport, because it can get you into 83 countries. And that's what it's all about. It's about how many countries can you get into with your passport. My Cambodian friend who lives in the U.S. has been visiting for a few weeks, got absolutely screwed by the cabs. Thailand needs to address... Dude, they've addressed the issues. Here's the thing. How did he get screwed? They don't want to take him? If they don't want to take him, he's got to say, no, I'm not going with you. You know, if they want to say, okay, it's 500 baht. No, I'm not going with you. That's what he has to do. I hate to tell you. I don't get screwed by cabs. I haven't gotten screwed in a long time. I've been down in Sukhumvit in the past 6 months to a year. And some of the cabs will say, hey, 300 baht. And I go, no, I'm not paying you 300 baht. Turn the meter on. No. Okay, bye. And then I get out. Now, I wasn't in a position where I had to go. I wasn't in a hurry. I don't recommend walking outside your hotel room and there's a taxi sitting there and taking that taxi. You go, no, I don't want to take you. You're going to turn the meter on? You turn the meter on, okay. You don't want to turn the meter on? That's all right. I'm going to go find another taxi. And you have that right. So I don't know how he got screwed, but maybe you could tell me. They won't. The big bosses are the ones who enforce the rules. Yeah, that's the other thing. You can use Grab. Now, granted, Grab is a little more expensive. Not always. Good morning, Andy. How you doing? Where are you? You can use Grab. You can use Bolt. You can use InDriver. Bolt is a little bit cheaper most of the time. And I think now you can use a credit card. I think I have a credit card on mine. So you do not have to pay. Whatever they say. However, generally, you're not in a position where you have to take them. You must spend the money and go with them. You don't have to. So there's no reason, and they have gone over this. It's law. It is now law that taxi drivers must pick you up and they must turn on their meter. It's law. So all the guys who don't want to turn on their meters are breaking the law, and you just go, no, it's law. That's it. I'm not going with you. That's as simple as that. Boot on to Bangkok in a few hours. Yeah, I used to do that route. Every once in a while. She queued at Don Muang upon arrival. The kiosk hailed the cab for her, and they insisted on a flat rate. Despite asking for the meter, the people at the kiosk backed the Well, she's got to be able to say no. That's the thing. You just go, no. It's the law. I'm not paying this much money. That's what you do. I've had somebody do that to me, and I just went, stop the cab right now. I'm going to get out. Huh? What? Huh? Turn on the meter. Okay. But it set the tone for the trip, for the drive. I was pissed off. I didn't like this guy because I'm like, you're trying to rip me off. And I don't do well with that, and I don't think many people do. So if she's at Don Muang and they're doing that, well, she could have just went upstairs, because she can go get a taxi on her own. They're pulling up, or wherever departure is. I don't remember. It's upstairs, downstairs. She can go to departures. When they're dropping somebody off, she just gets a taxi. Now maybe she didn't know, or whatever, but you don't have to engage in those kind of activities where they're able to charge you more money than you're supposed to pay. And taxis, I got a real problem with taxis. I don't put up with any shit from them. And I don't mean it in a aggressive, negative manner in that way. What I mean is, if they don't want to take me unless I'm paying a flat fee, or they want to go the long way or something like, no, I'm the boss because I got the money. That's it. You go the way I tell you. You do what I tell you. And if you don't like it, let me get out and I'll go to another taxi. It's very, very simple. I can tell you, there's a guy, I have a problem with some of the motorcycle drivers every once in a while. It's probably 1 out of, I'll say 10. 1 or 2 out of 10. And what happens is, I go on the guy, yesterday what happened, this guy pulls up. Now he's a young guy, he's like 19, 20 years old. A bit of a groat, kind of dirty and, just kind of like, yeah, what is it, man? Yeah, I need to go to this place. Okay. I get on his motorcycle. Now the motorcycle is so low to the ground that when you hit a speed bump, you hit the ground. I mean, you're banging against the ground. You can hear it every time. And his motorcycle was such a piece of crap. And I'm like on the back of us just going, why am I taking this guy? What? I should have just went, no, get another motorbike. That's what I usually do. I go, no, that's all right. Get me another motorbike. So I went the whole way with this guy. The guy was nice and everything, but his motorcycle was a total piece of crap. And it was so low to the ground. And there's like 2 motorcycles that they have that are really low to the ground. And I know if this guy pulls up, generally, yesterday, that was the first time I met the guy. I don't want to take their motorcycle. However, on the way back from over here at Happy I got onto a motorcycle and I noticed, I went, this guy's number 17. And I was like, do I remember this guy? As soon as we got ready to pull off, I remembered, I go, this guy is a total asshole. He you know, we'll be driving at like 10 miles an hour. And I go, dude, why are you driving so slow? You're driving 10 miles an hour. Everybody else is passing us up. And he gets angry. Then he starts speeding as fast as he can. He's going as fast as he can, like he wants to scare me, which he's not doing. All I'm doing is getting pissed. So yesterday, I get on the bike and he goes, and I go, what? What do you want me to do? Because I remembered it was him. He's like, you need to move. And I go, move where? I'm sitting on the bike. I don't have any extra room. There's no room. There is no room. I'm sitting with him and I'm like, I don't want to put my, I don't want to be up against him like, you know, like I'm spooning him. We're very close, as you have to be generally, but I don't want to be like right up against him, like almost hugging him. So I'm like about this far back. He's getting pissed off. I go, listen, just take me to where I want to go. Don't talk to me. Leave me alone. I don't want to talk to you. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, all I want to do is take a taxi that will take me somewhere without any problems. And generally, that's what happens. Taxis, the automobiles, generally, I don't have any problems with them. Because I take Grab, I take Bolt, and when I take a taxi, generally, I don't have any problems because I don't pay their fee, I don't play their games, I just don't do it. So that's that. Hello, Todd. Hey there. You know, so that kind of irritated me yesterday. Got refused fares by 3 cabs at Bayou late in the evening. 4 took us because he lived in Hanbury and it was close to home. Okay, you might have that in those areas. And that's something they need to address. The fact that they are supposed to pick people up. You could actually take their license down and then write into the Department of Transportation. I don't know how you can call them now or whatever, but you however you contact them and you actually state to them, hey, this guy didn't pick me up. He didn't want to do this. He only wanted 500 baht instead of turning the meter on. And they will go after these people. They've done it before. They used to have an app that you just punched in what you wanted. You just said, you know, this guy is not taking it. You took a picture of the little plate on the inside of the car. And then it would get through to them. And what happens is if they get enough warnings, which they get like 3 warnings, then they go, you're suspended. You can't drive for however long. Hey, carnivore, how you doing? So I've been using Bluebird here. Yeah. Okay, you can use Bluebird, you can use Uber. I don't know if they still have Uber or what it was. I don't remember if it was Grab the last time I was there. I think it was Uber. But it was fantastic. I got great prices. I mean, really, that made my trip in Bali. The service that I got from the people driving me around was second to none. I mean, it was really good. It was just like Bluebird or whatever. That before they had that, they used to have Bluebird. What is it? Bluebird, Silverboard. They have a couple of them, and they were all very good. I never just took a taxi, a regular taxi. So that's the thing you need to really think about. I guess maybe I should do something about that. I should write something about it, about what people should do, and, you know, put it out there, because it's something that's very important, and people just coming for the first time don't really know. You know, yeah, you can use Google Maps and make sure they're going the right way or whatever. I mean, usually I know where I'm going. If I don't know where I'm going, I usually use Google Maps just to make sure they're going the right way. So that's something else. Now let me get to this Henley passport thing, which is actually a pretty good thing. Let's see here. The ranking, I'm going to go with the top 10 rankings. Where's the U.S.? U.S. is number 8. But in the top 10, Slovenia, Slovakia, Latvia, they all have 186 countries that they can travel with. Number 9 is Estonia, Lithuania, UAE, that's 187. United States, number 8, 188. Hungary, Poland, Czech, and Canada, 189. New Zealand, Malta, Greece, Australia, 190. Number 5, Switzerland, Portugal, Norway, 191. I can't believe Portugal is ahead of the United States. I mean, I guess I should believe it. UK, Denmark, Belgium, 192. Sweden, South Korea, wow. Netherlands, Luxembourg, Ireland, Finland, Austria, number 3 at 193. Number 2, Spain, Japan, Italy, Germany, France, 194. And then number 1, and I believe this has been number 1, yeah, in the last 5 years, Japan and Singapore have dominated the top position in the index for the last 5 years. Singapore, number 1 with 195 countries. The bottom is Afghanistan, 26 countries. So it's Afghanistan, Syria, Iraq, Pakistan, Yemen, Somalia, all are under 36. They go from 26 to 36. And then, I don't know why this is the case, Nepal. 40 countries. It's on number 101. That's kind of surprising. Myanmar only has 48. Laos is 51. So, anyway, that's real quick. That's the Henley passport. And, you know, it's good to know. It's good to know which, you know, I mean, if you're going to get a passport, why do you want to get a passport at the bottom? You don't want one. You want one that's kind of at the top. So if you're going to get another passport besides the passport you have, you want to get one that is quite good. That you can go to a lot of places. I mean, Malta is very good. New Zealand and Australia, very good. I'm looking. I don't see some of these. Hong Kong has 172. Okay, St. Kitts and Nevis, 157. That's all right. So there you go. All right, let me read this here, and then I'll get into the whole thing that I was talking about with Thailand. Grab is okay. Also, never had issues on transfer here. They use Grab a lot when in Asia. Speaking of Google Maps, the Google Map lady advised me of debris on road ahead twice. Speed camera ahead 4 times. I wanted to buy her a beer. Yeah, I think it's great. You know, you can use Google Maps. It makes things a lot easier for people now than in the past. And this is what I mean. I've said this several times over years. Nowadays, what is so hard about traveling? I mean, sometimes logistically, it can be difficult. You can fly to this place, but you can't fly to that place, so you're going to have to fly to here and then go there. I mean, I understand that. That happens. But generally, it's a piece of cake when you're traveling. You don't even need to get visas in a lot of places. You just go to the country, walk right up. You got enough. Basically, you need to have the cash. You got enough cash, and then, oh, I don't know where this is. Okay, let me look on my Google Maps. Okay, you got to have a phone that has internet. But you know, most countries have at least decent internet. So nowadays, it's so easy to travel. And this is what I've said. And in the past, when I came here long ago, when I was traveling, there was no real internet with forums and, you know, blogs and books and all kinds of stuff on. You had to buy the book from the bookstore, You had to read it, you had to go through it, you had to talk to people. And to be honest, I learned what I knew about Thailand, I learned from 2 people. And then I had one book, I've said this before, Let's Go Thailand. And then I had another book that was about the best party places in the world, and it was like 20 or 25 places. I wish I knew the name of that book. I'd really like to find it. But it's been a long time since I had it, since I read it, so I just can't remember. Maybe one day it'll pop up and I'll remember the name of it. But anyway, you know, what I'm talking about in Thailand is they have to be careful what they wish for. They want all these tourists, but then the tourists come and then the place is overloaded with people and the infrastructure can't really handle it. And they know this, and that's why they're trying to make some changes. But let me read some of this article because I don't really know that it makes sense, because even long-term visitors, yeah, maybe they don't go out every day. All right, they're not using the SkyTrain every single day or whatever. But it's still, there's a huge number of people coming in, and I think they still flood. You know, if they're not doing this, they're doing something else. You know, if they're not riding on the SkyTrain, maybe they're riding on the boat. You know, and if they're staying at home, maybe they'd stay home whether they were a long-term tourist or whether they were a short-term tourist, or whether they were here on a what do you call it, destination Thailand visa, which is what they really got into here. So, you know, it's kind of like you're coming here, and what I've said is Thailand's done to death. And, you know, I live here, I'm online, I'm a YouTuber or whatever. Which, you know, okay, but honestly, I mean, it's nice to do YouTube because I have a little community and I'm friends with people. Okay, that's great. But if I wasn't a YouTuber, would it really bother me to where I was like, oh my God, what am I gonna do? No, I wouldn't be. Not at this point. You know, it just isn't that important to me. However, to many people, it's extremely important what they're doing. And I understand that. You know, like for me, it's YouTube, and to a lesser extent now, photography, working as a photographer. You know, that's what I used to do. Most of the time, that's what I was doing. I was more concentrated on photography and journalism and getting paid from that than I was from doing videos. So, you know, that's something else. You have to think about, okay, well, what are you going to do? And how are you going to keep yourself busy here? Now, with this destination Thailand visa, you can stay up to 180 days per visit on a multiple entry basis within 5 years. And this means you need to leave the country every 180 days, and then your time resets. The good thing about this is I don't think you have to pay any tax. You're exempt from taxes, which is something that I'm looking into now because Scotty don't want to pay no taxes in Thailand. Fortunately, Social Security and pensions are not taxed. So that's a good thing for me and for many others. I don't think that Thailand has thought through this taxation scheme that they're referring to. I don't think that they're really thinking through the marijuana issue, the cannabis issue, but they have once again backtracked on that. Just like I said, don't consider it done until the fat lady sings or until they publish it in the Royal Gazette. Because they flip-flop all the time. You remember the 300 baht entry fee that people were going to have to pay? What happened to that? Oh, yeah, we're going to do it. Oh, we're going to postpone it. Oh, we're going to do it. Oh, we're not going to do it. Well, we should do it. We need to do it. And then they don't do it. The same thing goes with cannabis. I don't think that they're going to change tack again and say, sorry, it's going to be medical use only. I don't think they're going to do it because they realize what happens is they say they're going to do something and then they don't really think about it. And then they start to think about it and people start to talk to each other and they start going, well, maybe it's not that good of a thing. We're making huge amounts of money. Why are we going to do this? Then they change tack. And by the way, the Prime Minister of Thailand, there is a chance he could be booted from his office, and our friend Anutin could be the Prime Minister. That could happen. Over the past decade, there has been a remarkable improvement in road condition. Yes, there has. I'd say the infrastructure in general has improved greatly. Costs 400 Aussie dollars to get a passport. That is crazy. Oh, if you want to leave Australia, you're going to have to pay big money here. It's so ridiculous. I remember when it used to be free to get notarized. Then they started charging money for it, and I'm like, crazy. Also, regarding infrastructure, they are moving utility lines underground on the Main Street tracks. Well, that's good. That's good. I mean, you know, you see these jumble of cables everywhere, and they have started to clean it up. Those cables are not electrical cables. They're not electrical wires. Those are cables for whatever else, but it's not about electricity. So, you know, if you see some cable hanging down, it doesn't necessarily mean if you touch it, you're going to get shocked. All right? So let me get into this thing here. Maybe you want to escape the winter months at home, opting instead to take care of your business on a laptop from the comfort of your rented Phuket villa as you gaze over the Andaman Sea. Or perhaps you're ready to step in the ring and embark on your new career as a Muay Thai fighter. And good luck with that. Either way, Thailand has you covered. I love how they always write in the positive. The popular Southeast Asia destination recently introduced a new 5-year visa targeted at remote workers and other travelers looking to stay in the kingdom for extended periods. According to a statement issued by the Thai Prime Minister's office, the destination Thailand visa will allow travelers a period of stay up to 180 days per day, 180 days per visit on a multiple entry basis within 5 years. The government statement says the visa is open to several categories of remote workers, including digital nomads and freelancers. It's also aimed at those looking to engage in activities such as Muay Thai training or Thai cooking classes, or come for extended medical treatments. To apply, travelers need to show that they have a minimum of 500,000 baht in funds, as well as documents to support the purpose of their visit, such as a letter from a medical center or proof of employment status outside of Thailand. The visa, which costs 10,000 baht, does not permit applicants to seek employment in Thailand, but you can work as a digital nomad. Now, here's where it starts to get a little bit tricky. They need to slow the pace. The Thai government has also expanded the list of countries and territories allowed visa-free access for tourism and short-term business from 57 to 93, that's countries, which also extending the length of stay, while also extending the length of stay from 30 to 60 days. Meanwhile, the number of countries, territories whose nationals are entitled to a visa on arrival has been bumped from 19 to 31. According to government figures, Thailand welcomed 17.5 million foreign tourists in the first half of this year, a 35% increase over the same period last year. But experts say the new visa measures aren't simply aimed at attracting more visitors. And that's what you would think. Generally, they want more visitors, they want more money, more. But at some point, the system is going to be like, wait a minute. We have too many people coming here. Look at like Bhutan. It's a very small country, and they charge people to come into the country. I don't know. I mean, if they said you gotta spend this much money for this period of time when you come in, I don't think Thailand has to do that, but I think maybe in some form it might be acceptable. Less people going to Vietnam now since Thailand changed the visa requirements. Well, that's the one weakness of Vietnam is their visa structure. They don't have a retirement visa. So how can you be content? How can you know, hey, I'm going to be stable here. I can set up house here. Maybe I can get married here or whatever. I don't know if they have a marriage visa, but how can you feel like it's the place for you if you don't even have a visa? I mean, the fact that I can't get a permanent visa here, it irks me to no end. Honestly. And that's because I'm not working. Now, what about somebody who's 68 years old or 62 and, they're collecting money from Social Security, from a pension, from whatever, and they're not allowed to become a permanent citizen? I've been here 30 years. I got a wife. I got 2 kids. I paid a lot of money into this system. So why am I not allowed that? They need to work on that also. You go to Ecuador, you can be a permanent citizen within 3 years. 3 years. Very easy. There are a lot of other countries, it's very easy to get citizenship. You can usually get it within about 5 years. So I don't understand about that, but that we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about how they're changing things around and how things will be, because they need to think about the fact that their resources, they already had the problem in Maya Bay. What happens, listen, I went to, Kata Beach. Now, there wasn't a huge number of people, but there was enough that when I went down to the beach, I don't really want to be here. There's too many people. It turned me off. Now, I get turned off a little easier than some people. I understand that. And that's just because I'm like, I expect certain things from wherever I go. I don't want there to be a huge number of people. I don't want to be a tourist. As in, I'm one of many tourists in the area. I don't want to be that. Now, that's just me. But when you go to, say, Kata, it's overrun, or Phuket, it's overrun with tourists. To me, it's too much already. There has to be something done. I don't know what it is. But really, they should do something about it. I don't know what the answer is. So, that's another thing. Now, I mean, I've been to some wonderful beaches, wonderful islands. Nobody's even heard about it. Because that's what I like to do. I like to go to places that maybe it's a bit harder to get there, but there's not that many people going. If you remember, a long time ago, I went to, what was the name of that? Koh Chang. Not Koh Chang in the east. It was down in the south. Near, what was it, Koh Payam? Yeah, near Koh Payam. And I went there because there wasn't many people there. In fact, I was going to go to Koh Payam, and the German guy, some of you know this, some of you don't, there was a German guy that I met. He was cool. I started talking to him. We got, we had a nice rapport. And we did for the time that we were there. He was doing his thing, I was doing my thing, but we had a nice time. And he told me, he goes, listen, if you go to Koh Payam, it's a big party place. He goes, there's bars. He goes, you want something quiet? He goes, nah, that's not going to be quiet for you. And I went, really? And he goes, yeah. He goes, I'm going to Koh Chang. Koh Chang is quiet. And I went there. I had a little bungalow that was 50 feet from the beach. It cost me 500 baht a night. Yeah, lately, I've been having some problems with the internet. I don't know why. Anyway, the entire trip for 5 days, taking the bus down there, the van to the pier, the boat from the pier to Koh Chang, food. Now, getting around on the island, you walk or you take a motorbike. There were no cars. Okay, and I went into a gypsy village. I went to Sea Gypsy Village, which normally you would think the Sea Gypsies stay out at sea, which is what they do. But now, because of how Thailand has set things up, which is what they do. But now, because of how Thailand has set things up for them, they have to come ashore. Anyway, it cost me 5,000 baht. For 5 nights, including all the transportation charges, food, that was it. And I was like, this is fantastic. I love this place. So you can find places if you really look for them, but it takes work. I mean, when I went to Kanom and Sichon a couple of weeks ago, very few people there. I loved it. To me, that's my kind of place. I was stuck in Thailand during COVID. It was great, no choice. Yeah, I was here. You know, and actually I went out of the country. I came back in, and I was traveling all around Thailand. I had a good time. And you know, the thing is that the Thais were prodding the expats to go and explore Thailand now. Oh, go, spend your money. Go. They wanted expats to spend money. And here, this was coming right after, I think it was Anerton, who was saying, oh, those filthy foreigners brought it in. So foreigners who really knew what was going on were like going, who is this guy? What's going on here? Why do I have to go and spend money and put money into the system because you're telling me to, when you're calling us filthy foreigners? Yeah, Koh Chang was nice. It was very nice. So anyway, that was cheap. Now, I don't know that it's that expensive now. That was 5-6 years ago. But I mean, you know, all right, maybe it went up to 600 baht a night. I don't know. But I know you can get there and be there, and it's not that much money. So, you know, you can't drive your car there. I can tell you that. You can't go over on a boat with the car or anything like that because there's no cars on the island. And the island is big enough that you can take some time to explore it and walk around on it. It was very nice. Anyway, I digress. Let's see here. Oh, wait a minute. Before I go on any further, Phuket is getting more busy now too. Not many quiet places left. Yeah, I've been to Phuket, and I've talked about this. I had a fantastic place at this resort that was about $500-600 bucks a night. We had dinner up in the bird's nest, where you're sitting there and the sun is going down, and you see the people kayaking, and the cicada are starting to make noise, and they're bringing up all kinds of appetizers and things, and it was like a 6-course meal, something like that. So it was very, very nice. But anyway, what I wanted to say is, do me a favor, if you haven't already, thumbs up, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Look down in the description. There are many ways that you can show a little love. You can get some merchandise, and I think, yeah, there are shirts and mugs and bottles and all kinds of stuff down below. There is the Farang Lives Matter shirt. I also enjoyed South Koh Chang. You went there? I didn't know you went there. Go down in the description, look at everything there. There's the Cash App, there's the Patreon, there's Amazon, there's my merch, books, and everything. So everything's down there. I appreciate it. There's Super Chat, Super Thanks. You can always do that. You can become a member of the channel for as little as $1.99. So, East Koh Chang is it's very nice, but it is touristy. I mean, you know, that's what it is. And to be honest, I went there because my buddy has a resort there, a Linda Resort, and he was training me in boxing for I don't know how long. It was a couple of weeks. But they used to have this Gayang restaurant that made, it was the best Gayang I've ever ate in my life. It was fantastic. That restaurant is gone. It closed during COVID. Really bummed me out. So I don't think I'll be going there anymore. I've been there 3 or 4 times to Koh Chang in the east. And you know, it's just, this is the thing. There's so many places to go. You don't have to go to the same place all the time. Some people go, oh, I'm going to go there. I really like it there. They go there and they go, I want to go back. It's great. Okay. Now, if you go there 4 or 5 times, you got to think, am I missing out somewhere else? There are other places to see. There are other things to do. And that's why, you know, after a while, I just, you know, all right, Todd, take it easy. You know, I like to find new places, and that's what I'm focusing on that right now. But I need to do a couple of things in the next month or 2, or 3, and you know, getting my Social Security straightened out. It should be. It seems like it's a piece of cake, but by the end of the year, I should be getting that, and so that'll help. And then got to get a few things squared away. And then I'll be doing all kinds of things. I got all kinds of things planned and lined up, and you know, I don't want to talk about too many of them. I've already talked about. I'd like to go to Bali and go to Komodo Island, but you know, my wife, you know, she's looking around for a house, and you know, she's like, we could live a little bit farther away, and it's really, really nice, and and I'm like, and then it's like, or we could live fairly close, and it's really nice, but it's not as nice. And so I'm going through all these things, and you know, while I say I am the man in the relationship, I also listen to my wife, and she's got some good ideas, and she, well, I didn't use Manila. I refused to use Manila. I didn't use Manila. I already worked in Alaska a long time ago on fishing boats, and you know, I left there, and it's great, but I don't want to. To be honest, I just don't want to go and work hard, bust my ass, and when I can be with my wife, you know, chilling out here with my kids. And, you know, this is the thing. And I've never been the kind of guy who lives to work. And 3 weeks on, off is great. I mean, if I was younger, see, the thing is, when I was younger, I didn't know about these jobs. I didn't really know how to I was stuck in a rut. You know, it was like, I went into the service, I got out, I went to California, and then it was like, well, what am I going to do? I don't really know. I was working at a liquor store. You know, I was making peanuts, but it was a job. I was making a little bit of money. I had a little scratch in my pocket. And then I just fell into, you know, oh, you need a printer? You'll teach? Okay. So then I started learning how to become a printer. And I did that for about 10 years. And I ran all kinds of presses and did it, and then I became an estimator. And, you know, I just thought to myself, is this what I'm going to do? And I used to think about it, and it was all the traveling. all the traveling I had done, I was just thinking, man, I can't just be stuck here. I don't want to be stuck here until I'm 65, 70 years old, doing the same thing all the time. I just didn't want to do it. So that's why I got away. But anyway, let's get back to this article here. How to get these jobs years ago. Now it's easy because kids don't want to work. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it seems like people don't really want to work now because people are giving them money. Eventually, they're going to have to work for their money. And I don't think that this generation is like it was when I was growing up, and my generation wasn't like, back in the 40s and 50s and even farther back. So, yeah, well now, I mean, I see presses here in Thailand. I see offset presses here. There's one right in Happy Land. They got Heidelbergs in them. But, I mean, first of all, I can't work here for doing that stuff. But, it's interesting to see that. But now it's a lot of digital printing. Everything is digital. So, whatever. Anyway, if you look at what Thailand has done, the initiatives and campaigns it's put in place over the last 2 years is to drive up visitors, arrivals. It's been pretty successful. So it leads Southeast Asia by a long way in terms of visitor arrivals. But the problem, and this is a big problem, is that although it's got the numbers coming in, the average spend per visitor is relatively low. And that's because you have these people that come in and they're trying to stay here for as cheap as they can. They don't want to spend that much money, or they're like, hey, let's go and we'll buy a bottle and we'll sit around, with our friends and get drunk, and then we'll go to this place, and, they're spending 200 baht each. So each person might be spending 500 baht. Well, I think this generation deserves the shade that's being thrown at them. The pressure on resources is getting tougher. The incremental value of just having more and more people isn't being felt. So they need to find ways to actually increase the length of stay, increase the per person spend, he says, noting that the bulk of Thailand's international arrivals are regional travelers who visit for short periods. You've got a lot of people coming in, moving around, getting out quickly. This puts intensifying strain on the infrastructure, on the airports, on the transportation network. They need to slow the pace. And my wife was saying, so when is the SkyTrain and the subway going to work on Ramkhameng? Because one of the places she's looking at is farther down on Ramkhameng. And she said, is it going to be this year? And I said, no. It's supposed to be like 2028 or something like that. 2030. They just signed a contract a couple of weeks ago. And I'm like, you got the whole thing built, but you're not going to get the cars in, and it's not going to work. It's not going to be functional for another couple of years. Now, I don't know. They said 2024. That's not going to happen. They said 2025. Now they're saying it could be 2028, 2030. But if they were working, I'd be like, let's go. No problem. I don't mind taking public transportation to zip around. But the traffic on Ramkhameng Road in Lat Phrao is horrible. Especially in rush hour. And then I'm like, okay, you can take the boat to Minbury. But then it's like, holy shit, that boat is so slow. So you get over here, you go down 2 stops. Is it 2 stops? 2 or 3 stops. I think it's 2. You go down 2 stops, then you get on another boat, and that boat takes an hour to get to Minbury. So it might take 45 minutes to get to where you're going, and then it's going to take another half an hour from there to get where you're going. So where you decide to live is very important, because you may or may not have a way to get around. So it really depends. Don't count on Social Security. It's good for a while, but long term, I don't know. It could be, might not be. Let's see here. Good morning. Good morning. Trying to attract long-term. Okay. That is, he says, why they're trying to attract long-stay visitors like digital nomads too, simply because it puts less pressure on the entry points and the transport points. According to the Prime Minister's office statement, the new measures are aimed at promoting tourism and boosting the economy and have been in effect since July 15th. Thailand certainly isn't alone in its desire to bring travelers in for longer periods. Oliver Ponti, Director of Intelligence and Marketing at Forward Keys, a travel data company, says more people than ever are seeking out opportunities for extended holidays, and countries are paying attention. A global trend we have observed through the post-COVID-19 period has been that travelers are staying at destinations for longer. Arrivals to the Asia-Pacific region remain minus 23% versus 2019, yet longer stays, 2 weeks or more, are just below minus 8% of pre-pandemic levels. Many destinations have already launched new visas to accommodate this increase in remote work, with flexible workplace policies now allowing people to combine work and leisure more easily. Well, they should do that. Really. You should be able to work wherever you want. You know, I mean, in that sense, there shouldn't be borders. You should figure out a way. Okay, you pay money, you pay whatever it is. I mean, I like some of the ways that Vietnam does business with, you use an agent, boom, you get a visa. They take care of everything for you. You can do that in Thailand. You can do that in the Philippines. You can do that in a lot of places. Now, you may say, oh, well, I don't need to do that. It's too, it's such a pain in the ass and I got to pay more money. You pay more money, but you have a lot less stress. You don't have to deal with these people. And they don't really want to deal with you. I can tell you, immigration does not want to deal with a bunch of foreigners coming in who are going, well, what about this? Should I do this? Do you want me to fill that paper out? Oh, I need this paper? Yes, you need to come back. Okay, then they come back. Oh, you need to fill this paper out too. Yeah, but you didn't tell me. I didn't know. Okay, you gotta go. This is what they deal with all the time. You have to think about what immigration is dealing with people that come in. Listen, everybody who I talk to who deals with Manila for Social Security tends to have problems. But that said, my buddy just messaged me this morning. He lives in Cambodia and he is moving to Seattle. He is in Seattle right now. He filed for his Social Security. However, they wrote him and said, we cannot verify your ID. And he was ticked off because, he thinks it should be a lot easier, which I understand. It should be easy. But he's in Seattle. If he wants, he can make a phone call. Maybe he can take care of it over the phone. And worst comes to worst, he has to go to Social Security. He can make an appointment, go in, and then that'll be it. So, it's not that difficult for him. Oh, are they not opening up yet or what? Well, it's after 10. So now people are starting to come in. They're all standing, they all stand, I don't know if you can see, but they all line up when people are coming in so that they can salute them. And anyway, not many people coming in now. All right, now they're done. Not a whole lot of people. What's today? Tuesday. Maybe that's what. So anyway, my buddy might have to go. He may have to go into a Social Security office, which, I'm sure he views that as a pain in the ass. But once he sets it up, it's done. That's it. That money comes like clockwork. And, if you think about it, the government is not going to just cut people off that have Social Security. They may say there is no new Social Security, But, you know, of being what? I can't see it here. A result of being during COVID. I think COVID, yeah. Yeah, I don't know about that. I mean, that could be. It could be because they were backed up because, you know, not as many people were working. I don't know. Anyway, for me, it was a piece of cake, really. And I refuse to, if it's at all possible, I would not have used Manila. So that's my suggestion to most people. Do not ever use Manila. Instead, use the United States. Now, like Jim said, maybe it's easy. I understand that. But I think more people have problems in Manila than they do in the U.S. Let's see here. Particularly, visas which allow for multiple entry have longer validity periods, and those which allow for family members to accompany the visa holder on the trip are having success in attracting long-stay tourists. Well, and the other thing, though, is that if you are a long-stay tourist, I would say maybe you're spending more overall, which is kind of what they're looking for. But the per day, it's like I live here. I don't have to spend 500 or 1,000 baht to eat here. I don't go out to eat every single time. You know, I got food at home. What do I need to go out for? You know, so they're spending less per day, but overall they're spending more, which is what I think Thailand is trying to do. They don't want it to get to the breaking point where there's too many people on the SkyTrain, too many people on the subway, too many people on the boats. The airports are full. You know, we got too many people at the airports. Now, I've been in the airport when the airport lines were pretty lengthy, but it went like, I mean, I might have waited 10 minutes. I wasn't complaining. Other factors come into play in terms of desirability too, he says, such as destinations, quality of life, cost of living, national and local sustainability practices, and tax benefits, to name a few. As for Thailand, Ponti says the new long-stay visa is most likely to be embraced by long-haul travelers who tend to stay much longer on average compared to regional travelers within the Asia Pacific. Currently, the proportion of tickets with long stays over 14 nights remains around 25%. Medium stays, 6 to 13 nights, remains 45%, says Ponti, referring to the numbers based on flight booking data. These measures will likely enhance the appeal of Thailand for long-term visitors, potentially increasing these proportions over time. Okay, so that's great that they mean well. They're trying to do everything they can to make things better for people. But you know, I hate to say this, but I've got this phrase that I've been saying a lot more lately, and that is, we'll see. We'll see if the government flip-flops. We'll see if the government's new policies and visa policies will pay off for them. We'll see. It's going to take time. You're going to have to give it a little bit of time to see what's happening. I renewed my passport in Chiang Mai, and it was a breeze. 2 weeks. Okay, I'm flying to Chiang Mai now instead of Bangkok, and it was a breeze. All right, that to me, I mean, you can fly into Bangkok, it's still a breeze. It's still a piece of cake. Some people report having difficulty with Social Security proof of life form. They have to fill out every 2 years, I think, while living overseas. They don't know I live overseas. Don't tell them you live overseas. That's the thing. Why would you tell them that? No, I live in America. I'm going to go spend some time in Thailand because my friends live there, and then I'll come back. They don't need to know how long you are there. You know, if it all comes up, yeah, okay, well, you're going to have to give in. But for me, I don't want to tell them. They don't need to know anything. They don't need to know that I live in Thailand. They don't need to know this. They also had a box to check if you also wanted to apply for Medicare. I did that. When I went to complete the application for Social Security, it told me that I couldn't apply as Medicare was paying. So you're 65, right? I am not getting Medicare. I'm not going to pay for it, period. The Medicare process was going to take over 60 days. This meant that I couldn't apply. Getting an online appointment was impossible, as you needed to make an appointment to make an appointment. I got to make an appointment for the appointment. Crazy. God, it looks like it's going to rain. It really is starting to get kind of dark out here. Let's see here. You don't have to pay for the hospitalization, but well, that's the thing. But they don't cover you while you're overseas. So why would I pay for Medicare when I'm not going to live in the United States? You know what I mean? It just doesn't make any sense. Now, you're going to have to pay a penalty if you decide, okay, well, I'm going to have to move over. But I am covered by the VA, which, you know, isn't a whole lot better. Well, it might even be worse than Medicare, but I'm very happy that I have that. So, you know, no disability benefits for me, no nothing. And I don't think we're going to try to get survivor benefits for my wife, because I just don't think it's worth it. Because we have to be there for a period of time in order for her to get a green card. She can go whenever she wants. She's got a 10-year visa. She's going to get it renewed. She can go anywhere. She can go. She's been all over the world now, so we're good to go. You know. And the funding issues with Social Security, the long-term solvency issues, I think there maybe things will be reduced. Who knows? You might have to be older. Trump says no. You know, who knows what the Democrats are going to do. But I don't know. I don't see them doing away with it. Okay, really. Maybe they need to reform it, but I don't think when it comes to, if you've already got Social Security, they're not going to change anything. I don't think they're building VA hospital near Jomtien, because all I've heard is the only coverage you're going to get from the VA is if you have, what is it called? You know, when you're injured. I forget what it is. Injury-related coverage. That's the only coverage that's going to cover you. And that is in Manila. That they have that. I haven't heard anything about the VA starting to build a hospital. I don't know about that. Did she make contact with a helpful woman in I found by calling everyone I could find it, a couple of clicks on her computer, and she had it resolved. No, they won't do away with it for us, but it will likely be reduced. I don't see them reducing the Social Security for people who already have it. Think about that. I don't think they're going to do that. Well, the good thing about a lot of places now for getting visas is that you can do it online. I mean, Vietnam. And most people from Vietnam pay too much. It's like 25 bucks. That's it, 28 bucks or something like that. And some people from Vietnam, they're paying $100 because they go through these agencies. And, you know, if anybody ever needs the direct website for Vietnam to get their visa, I have it. It's very easy. You just go through that and it's no problem. But you know, I mean, even I think Myanmar now, you can get your visa online. There's a lot of places. Cambodia, I mean, you know, many places. You don't have to go in it. They are modernizing like that. But, you know, for me, it's not so much now where, like before, I used to want to go everywhere. Now I don't really want to go everywhere. I want to have a quality trip. I value quality over quantity. I don't want to go to 10 different places and go, wow, I went to Cambodia twice, I went to Myanmar 3 times, and I went to this. That's not what I want. I'd rather go to, you know, we're setting something up. I don't know how we're going to do it, but, you know, we're going to go to 1 or 2 places next year instead of like 6. Maybe we'll go back to Ecuador, I don't know, and then we'll go to 1 other place. My wife likes New York, so maybe we'll go Ecuador, New York, and somewhere in Europe, and then we'll come back to Thailand. And that'd be like 3 weeks. So 3 weeks or a month. Alrighty. So let's see here. Where are we for time? 71 minutes. 71 minutes. All right. Don't forget the super chat. Super thanks. I don't think I've had one for like 2-3 days now. And luckily, not required for services. I used to have a company that insured me that was fantastic, but got too expensive, and that was William Russell, and they were British. That may be the one you're talking about, Jim. I don't know. You know, that's another thing. The insurance. You always got to think about insurance. You either think about insurance, or you better have enough money where you can cover just about anything. And I'd say most people are not in the position where they have a couple $1 million sitting in the bank and they go, well, you know, if I got to pay $1 million or $2 million, yeah, I can do it. You know, I mean, let's face it. I don't think there's, you know, 80% of the people are saying that. So, but you have to think about these things if you're going to live here. And this is the thing. When they come over, these people come over, they have to have insurance. I think they have to have $50,000 worth of insurance. Yeah, this is the thing. They all get pricey, man. They all start charging you more money, and it's like they just really there to ream you. And this is what I've been saying for a long time. The governments, big corporations, what are they here for? You know what they're here for? To make money. They're not here for you. They're not here to make you happy. They're not here to provide the best product they can, although some of them do. They're here to bend you over and ream you and get as much as they can from you without giving you much of anything. Translation fee for dental office. Well, thank you very much, Jim. And I really could use that, and I appreciate it. Are you learning Thai now? Are you taking any lessons? You should be. I say that to everybody now. Just learn to take 20 lessons. Take 20 lessons. That'll cost you around 15,000 baht. That's about $500. Take 20 lessons. And you're on your way. And then, you know, you start picking up things along the way. You know, yes, no, left, right, expensive, not expensive. You start learning all these phrases. Next thing you know, you start to piece them together with little phrases in the, okay, Andy, I was wondering if you were still in Bandung, but okay, last day. Have fun and be safe. I'm wearing my Phuket shirt today. My wife bought me this shirt. I'm like, what do you buy me this shirt for? I don't need to wear this shirt. She goes, let me get it for you. It's nice. Thai Pod 101 yesterday. Learned about future tense. Okay. That's good. Stay with it. And like I tell Jono, just stick with it. You may think, oh, I don't know about the tones. I don't know about this. I don't know about that. Oh, I don't feel like I'm getting... Just keep doing it. That's all you got to do. Just keep going. And to be honest, when I first came here, that was the first thing I did, was I got a 20-hour course. And I took 10 hours. I had to go down to the school every day. It was down on Sukhumvit Soy 19, and I lived on Sukhumvit Soy 1. And I'd go down every day, or every couple of days, and I'd go and have my class. After about 10 or 11 hours, I was, it was a couple of weeks. I was out of control. I was just out of control. I was going out all the time. I was getting drunk. I was going places. I was like, I'd have some girl come over, and she would leave, and I'd be like, oh, wait a minute, what time is it now? Oh, it's 11 o'clock. Oh shit, I missed my class. I'd forget I had a class. I'd be drunk and hungover, and I'd be like, oh, do I got school today? Oh yeah. Oh, it's 1:30. Oh wow, I missed it. Class was at 9. So I didn't finish that. And so then I started learning on my own. And I got a book, and I started learning how to read Thai. And then, I did learn from women and stuff like that. But if you learn from women who are working in the bars, you're going to learn Thai that is not exactly the most proper Thai. If you really want to learn to speak properly, yeah, that helps, learning from women working in wherever, in bars. But if you really want to learn properly, you need to learn from people who are not people working in bars. That's what I'll say. But then, I don't know how many years it had been, but I was married. We had kids, so it had to be a little while. And then these guys came over. They wanted to make a movie about bare knuckle fighting. And they wanted me to help them. And I said, okay, no problem. So they were paying me, and I was like, great. But before they came over, I thought, oh, I need to brush up on my Thai. I need to get my Thai up to another level, because I just felt like that's what I need. Which is what I feel like now. I feel like I want to get it to the level where I'm like, I speak like a Thai. And sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. But anyway, so I went to the same place, and I said, can you just have the person come to my house? And this was before online school, became really popular. And so this girl, they set me up with this girl, and she came to my house, and I got 20 hours. So that made 30 hours of lessons, but she came over, and we would sit outside of the house. I had this big tree outside, and it was all fenced in, and I'd sit there at this table, and then we would go over, different language drills. She was the one who taught me taught me some more about reading Thai, because that's when I started to read Thai and speak Thai. And so she was really helpful, and I took 20 lessons with her. And I think it might have taken a month, but it really helped me. The guys came over, my Thai was much better, and from that point on, I just kind of gradually improved, and I don't think I speak great Thai, but I speak pretty good Thai. So that was really helpful for me. So I would say, if you could take any kind of organized class, it's helpful, and it'll get you to the next level. Pretty good coffee. Usually they give you sparkling water. This is not sparkling, but it doesn't matter. Look around for your school. I don't care if it's online, offline, whatever. I mean, if you want to go to school, it's great that you get to go in person. Well, you'll find that a lot. There's many different words, many different ways to say things. I've known people that when they wanted to know how much something cost, they would go kiban. And I'd be like, why are you saying that? Oh, because you can say that. And I was like, yeah, but I use taurai. And I like taurai. I don't like kiban. I don't know why. But you're still getting the same message across. So. Anyway. So Thailand has its work cut out for them. And I would say, honestly, I would say I don't think they can get a whole lot bigger. I don't think they're going to be able to get a lot more. I'd say maybe they can hit 45 million tourists, 50 million. And after that, they're just not going to be able to get any more. They can never have the resources that are going to meet the demand of people coming in. I mean, this country is only so big, and they only have so many things, and you don't want to burn everything out. I think personally, Thailand's already done. It's already been done for a long time. I mean, you just look at YouTube. All you got to do is put in Thailand, and a million different videos. And some of them are good, some of them are not, whatever. But I mean, really, Thailand's done to death, man. I bet you, if you haven't been to Thailand, you probably know someone who's been to Thailand. Yeah, once you learn the alphabet, it gets easier. And you just, for me, I just associate the alphabet, the letters, you associate it to what it sounds like in English. And then after a while, you start to get the, like I'm looking across the way here, Krua, I can't even see that far. Krua Papon, what is this? Papon. I think that's what it is. Hard to see, man. My eyes are getting really bad. I need to go for a checkup, get my eyes checked, get some new glasses again. I mean, it's such a pain in the neck getting glasses, really. It's like, they last you maybe, if you're lucky, a year. Then you got to get your eyes checked again and get new glasses, a new prescription. And every time you do it, it costs you a couple $100. Even here. So. I would say learning the alphabet is something you need to do, and if you really want to do it, go to some bookstore. It can be a Thai bookstore, and you get some books that are meant for little kids, and it teaches you how to write the letters and how to pronounce them. You can do that on your own, and it will help you. I mean, I don't remember all the letters all the time. I don't remember what you call them, but I remember the sound. And so, that helps a lot. You don't need an app. Really, you don't need an app, because in an app, you can't write anything down. You're not writing the letters down. You need to write the letters down over and over and over again. And if you get those little kids' books, I mean, they might cost you 200 baht for like 3 or 4 books. They're cheap. And then you got, you want to write popla, and you write it. And then they'll have another, and they have the outline like in hyphens, written in hyphens, so you can see what you need to write. And you start writing it, and you write it over and over and over. And, then before you know it, you're like, okay, now I remember how to write this. Yeah, listen, you want to talk about writing online, all that stuff, it uses a different part of the brain. For me, and for what I think it's great when you have physical books, not a computer. Once you've learned, then it's good to have the computer. Well, that's good. They have printable worksheets. That's really good. Because then you print them out, you use the worksheets, and you write everything down. Yeah, they have little kids' books. You use them. And I mean, we still have them. I don't even know where they are, but, you know, Nicholas and Alex kept all their books from school. I need to throw those books out. We need to throw them out. But they're like sitting in the closet. They've been there for years. I still remember when they got their books and when they, you know, could barely speak English, could barely speak Thai. Yeah, I don't buy those glasses, man. I got astigmatism, so my eyes are not the same, and it doesn't really work. I mean, it helps, but I'd rather have my glasses, which if I put these on, I can see much better. If I'm right about here, I can see a lot better. The problem is every time you go in and get a new prescription, you got to pay extra money. You know, you pay 2,000-3,000 baht to get checked up and have, you know, the full checkup on your eyes. And then you gotta get the glasses, which you can get yourself a cheap pair of glasses for 2,000-3,000 baht. But like my kids got their glasses the other day, and like Alex is like, I'm looking at the computer all the day. I really need the kind that helps me look at the computer. My eyes won't get so tired. They're like a blue tint or something like that. So he got those. They're like 8,000, 10,000 baht. They're not cheap. You know, so anyway, interesting to know. And you know, when I think about Thailand, I kind of wonder, you know, like honestly, for me, I got a place to live. I'm comfortable. As long as I can stay in a place that's comfortable and fairly quiet and relaxed, which is what we have now, I'm okay. But for people who want to move here or are considering moving here, then they have to think about how they want to do it and what it's going to be like. You know, they really have to consider that. Now, one thing that does worry me is the number of Chinese and Indians that are coming into the country. Is it going to change the demographic here to the point where I'm not very happy? Now, the Burmese coming in here, there's a lot of Burmese. A lot of Burmese in the markets, a lot of Burmese doing manual labor. But the Burmese, you know, they tend to be very good. Been here a week now, man, the heat is something else. Yeah, and this is not even the hot season, man. This is not the hot period of the year. If you were here when it's really hot, you would be like, holy moly. You know, you just gotta learn to deal with it. Now, are you going back, Vanico? Are you going back home? Or are you gonna be here for a while? My nose itches, you know what that means. My wife used to say, if your nose itches, that means you're gonna come into money. So I'm like, okay, if you say so. Slow traveling, 2 to 3 months here in Thailand. Okay. Yeah, I mean, that's good. That's good. It's a good place to visit and to learn about, you know. And when I first came here, I loved it. I thought, wow, this place is fantastic. And that's what made me move here. It wasn't the women or anything like that, the cost of living. I mean, cost of living was something that I factored in. But I didn't mind the heat. You know, it was like, okay, I don't care if I'm sweaty. But when I first came, I thought, oh, this place is magical. I thought it was fantastic. Now, I look at it as it's not so exotic anymore. It's not a place where I go, Oh my God! And you know there are people that they only hang out in, say, Nana Plaza, Soy Cowboy, or maybe they just hang out in a certain part of Bangkok. They never go anywhere. They don't ever go anywhere. And then they're here. They think Thailand is, maybe they think Thailand is Pattaya. Now Pattaya is very different than a lot of other places. Or they hang out in Chiang Mai. Oh, this is Thailand. No, Thailand is a lot of different places. And for me, I never got used to Pattaya. It's too seedy, to be honest. And Chiang Mai, you know, I don't like the whole fisherman pants, hippie kind of, that just used to bug me a long time ago. The relative freedom in Thailand is a great relief. Yeah. This is the thing. That's the biggest thing I think that people realize here. Nobody cares what you're doing. You know, I mean, unless you get really carried away. Nobody cares what you're doing, what you're saying. All they care about is, are you being a decent person? Yeah, I don't like Platinum Mall. I really do not like that area. I don't like Patumwan. I just don't like it. I don't like that area. I never have liked it, to be honest. I have never, ever liked that area. And I used to spend a lot more time over there when I lived in Sukhumvit, on Sukhumvit, say, Sukhumvit Soy 1. I used to spend a lot of time in that area. And Panteep used to be the place to go. You want stuff, you know, the long-term stayers always seem to explore further than bars. Well, that's good, you know. I think that's good. I've seen some people who, you know, they've been here for 6 months or a year, and they're going, oh, look at this place. Nobody knows about this place. This is such a wonderful place, and it's really hidden. Nobody knows about it. And I'm like, what are you talking about? You know, everybody thinks it's all hidden. No, it's not hidden. Just like when I went to Kanom, I knew this place is not unknown. But a lot of people don't want to go there for whatever reason. Okay, David, you take it easy. Well, yeah, I'm not too comfortable there either. I just don't like that area. I don't know what it is. I don't like that area. I don't like walking through where all the little shops are and everything across the street from them. I just don't like that. I don't know what it is. For some people, that's what it. Maybe it's that it's not like kind of westernized, or you know, a mix of Thai and the West. But yeah, I'm not very comfortable there. This lady came in, she's got a couple little girls with her. I always like to see the little kids come in here with their parents, and you know, they're gonna just enjoy something to drink. You know, it's nice to see that sometimes, because most of the time when people come into coffee shops, it's not like kids. It's older people, you know, like me, or you know, somebody coming in they're gonna sit on their computer or whatever. So this lady just brought in her little girls for like a little treat, you know. She's buying them a little cake and everything like that. Well, I don't give a shit about the markup on street food because I'll just eat somewhere else. But you know, those areas tend to be a little costlier than some other areas. And you know, that's the thing. I mean, listen, you go to Pattaya, there's a lot of places there that the cost of the food is excellent. You can get great food for dirt cheap. Hungry Hippo always comes to mind. Really good place, you know. But like for me, like, do I want to be surrounded by, 20 old guys that are like, oh yeah, I live in Pattaya? No, I don't. I don't really care. For me, I just want to go there, eat my food, and get out of it. You know. I don't need to make friends. I don't need that. It's not me. I'm not the most social person. You know. It has nothing to do with the people there or anything like that. Although I did say a long time ago, you're in the middle of a city, not near the beach. You're not near the ocean. You're not, walking along on the beach. I'm talking about in the middle of the city, far from the beach. And you got these old guys walking around in like bath sandals, a pair of shorts with their balls hanging out, and no shirt on. And they stink. That's what I see there every so often. And that's just a little too much for me. And I know Patsy has a lot to offer, and it's much different than that. And you can live in certain places where you won't come into contact with that. But for me, I would never live in I don't care where it is, Jomtien, anywhere. I wouldn't live there. There's too many people, too many tourists. I don't want to be around a bunch of tourists. That's just me. Now, granted, when you come here and you're here at the beginning of your time here, you may be more apt to hang out in places like Pattaya, Phuket, Chiang Mai. You may be more apt to do so. But for me, as I've been here longer and longer, I've been like, no, I don't need to be around those places. I just want to hang out with my kids, hang out with the wife, hang out with some friends. And most of the time, listen, Billy and Jono, they live about, it's 30 minutes, 45 minutes away from here. None of us see each other, except for the rare occasion where we decide, okay, let's meet up. Maybe we all meet. Maybe one of us goes and sees somebody else. Whatever. We got our own stuff to do. And sometimes what we're doing is nothing. Sometimes it's like I'm going to the grocery store, and then I got to go here and go there. I have a few errands to run. Even today, I have some. So I know that's going to take me 2 hours. All right. Well, then if I go across town, it might take me, say, an hour to go, an hour to come back, and then I'm going to stay there for 3 hours. So now there's half the day is gone. So, when you're going to figure out what you're going to do, you really got to, make time for it. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of Thonburi. It's all right. I don't mind it. But, again, I'm not going to live there. There's a couple places where my wife has went, and I've been like, okay, I can live here. One is right down the street from our place. Another one is like Ramkapang, or Ramkapang area. But in Ramkapang, if you're just like Lat Rao, if you're anywhere near the main road, Lat Rao, or Ramkapang, there are so many cars and so many people, and to go through that, listen, you're going to go through it once every month or two. Okay, not a big deal. But if you're there all the time, and you're dealing with, dealing with traffic in Lat Rao, and if I had to go out every single day, it would drive me nuts. Now, even Alex liked the fact he didn't have to go to work every day. He worked from home. Even Bo, she can work from home. She doesn't have to go out into traffic every single day. Sometimes she just takes a Grab and she just goes, all right, whatever. However long it takes me, that's what it's going to take. Sometimes she takes the boat, because the boat will get her almost near there fairly quickly. But, this is what I mean. And in Pattaya, yeah, you can take a Songtao, you can do whatever. Chiang Mai. everybody has their own preferences, but for me, I kind of like where I am now. I wouldn't go to Pattaya, or definitely not Phuket. I wouldn't go there either. The Thai government sucks. I don't know about that, Hans, but I don't know that it sucks. But there's a lot of weaknesses, a lot of things that I don't really want to think about, talk about, because I can't do anything about it. And would I really try to do anything about it? Like, in America, there are things I can do. But really, unless I want to get involved in politics, what am I going to do? Then when you get involved in politics, it's not, I'm sure, it's not what you think it's going to be like. Maybe you think, I'm going to change this, I'm going to change that, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And then, when you find out, sorry, can't do anything, you're just stuck. Anyway, not many people here today in the mall. Let me show you a little bit. I mean, there's a few, but all in all, it's a bit slow today. Maybe Tuesday is a slow day, I don't know. Listen, you can talk about the government. I wouldn't get in too deep, though. You can be superficial about it, and I think that's what I do. Listen, to be honest, there are things that the Thai government does when all I do, and actions that they take or don't take, I just shake my head. But I don't know everything that's involved in behind closed doors. That's what I'll say on a positive note. I don't know everything that they're going through and that they have to deal with. I'm not a politician. For me, it might be very simple. Oh, well, this is what you need to do. But regardless of that, there are things that I think they can do a lot better. And it really doesn't matter what the reasons are behind it. They can do better, And that's about all I'll say. I mean, everything else, listen, for the most part, I live here, I'm comfortable, I'm safe, and I don't have many problems. I say this all the time, and a lot of people don't really, they may not understand, or they may not really believe me or whatever, but I don't have problems here. I don't have many problems. Listen, for me, I hate that place. I'll be honest. I hate Platinum. It's like, that's my least favorite place to go and go shopping. I've just walked through there and I'm like, something doesn't feel right. And to go across the street there, I don't really like it. So, I don't need to go there. I stay away from them. The Songkran, I was over at Central World, and I don't really like it there. I prefer to be somewhere else, like Emporium or something like that, or the Mall Bangkok or whatever it may be. But not that place. That whole area, for me, is just, I don't know what it is, Sometimes you find a place and you go, yeah, I like this place. Wow, really feels good here. And sometimes you're like, I don't know what it is about this place, but I just don't like it. And that's me. Now, what I will say is my wife said to me, could you live out in Rangsit? And I said, I don't think I really want to live in Rangsit. Why not? Because Nicholas lives in Rangsit. And when I go out to Nicholas's apartment, I don't get a feeling like, wow, this place is awesome. or I really like this place. I don't get that feeling. I get, there's the university, there's his apartment, here's a couple of places we can go to eat, and other than that, it's all commercial and it's spread out, and it's just not, it's not a place that I think is really nice. There are other places that are nicer. You know, I like Phuket, I like Kanom, I like Kanchanaburi. There are places I do like. And if we were to ever move to some of these places, or when we do move to some of these places, you know, okay, great, I'll make the most of it. And you know, we talk about moving, and then it's like, I think to myself, I gotta have an office. My wife's like, yeah, I gotta have an office too. We gotta have an extra bedroom. Okay, so we figure it all out. We need like 4 bedrooms. 4 bedrooms, 2 or 3 baths. That's what we need. And we'll be comfortable. So, you know, we'll see. There's that phrase again. We will see. So, that's about all I have, now that I think about it. Remember, though, they flip-flopped on the marijuana, on the cannabis. There's a chance the Prime Minister, Sreta, could be gone. So there's all kinds of things going on in Thailand right now. You know, so you got to keep your eyes open, your ears open, to see exactly what's going to happen. And like I said, it looks like rain is coming. It hasn't started raining yet, but I can guarantee you it's going to rain again. You know, this is the thing. In Pattaya, people always, oh, you got to go to Thailand. Been there, done that. And, okay, I guess if you're a tourist, it's okay. I don't know what the big draw is for that place. Maybe it's because it's a little island not far from Pattaya. I don't know. I really don't understand that. What is this here? New weekly coffee and news. Okay. Thai Prime Minister delighted as tourist arrivals in Thailand exceed 20 million. Okay. So, I think that's about it. Let me see here. Abrupt U-turn, SCB to keep using Robinhood app. I gotta say, I used to use Robinhood, and they had a big problem a couple of years ago, and that was it. I went, I'm not using them anymore, and I stopped using them. Businesses urged to look into instant delivery services. Let's see here. Okay, so the day that they're going to decide on the Prime Minister is August 14th. Let's see here, they're talking about Chinese, I don't know what the hell they're talking about here with the 9-minute delivery guarantee. All right, these are Chinese companies in Thailand. All right, so let me just read this real quick. Uncertainty in Thailand ahead of 2 key court rulings. Sreta's removal could upend the government. Popular opposition party faces dissolution. Rulings could reignite battle for power. The Thai Constitutional Court will hand down its verdict on August 14th. That's in a case that seeks the dismissal of Prime Minister Sreta Thavisin for appointing to his cabinet a lawyer who served time in jail. Okay. This case stems from a complaint from a group of former senators over the appointment of Pichit Chunban who has since resigned and was imprisoned briefly in 2008 for contempt of court over an alleged attempt to bribe court staff. Real estate tycoon Sreta denies wrongdoing, says Pete Chit, a former lawyer for the politically powerful Shinawatra family. That says it all right there. Was thoroughly vetted and his appointment was above board. Okay, if his appointment was above board, but the guy went to jail, so I don't know why maybe they don't view that in the same light as some people, but the removal of Sreta could plunge Thailand into uncertainty and would require Parliament to elect a new premier, potentially pitting his Phut Thai party against coalition partners in what could result in a shakeup of the governing alliance and a realignment of cabinet and policies. Now, let me keep going on here. They don't really say anything, but the person that they really are looking at installing as the new prime minister is Anatin Chanwirakul. And the good thing is that he is pro-marijuana, pro-cannabis. The bad thing is that he, in my opinion, I don't know, but he's so pro-foreigner. I don't know that he's a guy that you really want to have in power. And my wife was just like, ugh. I was like, what? You really don't like him? She goes, I don't want him in power. But guess what? They got no say now. There's nothing they can do. So I can handle Cha'am, not Hua Hin. I don't know about Cha'am, but definitely not Hua Hin. Why the vote of non-confidence? Well, I just told you. It's because he installed a lawyer who had been thrown in jail before, and that guy is with the Shinawatra family, which, what does that tell you? So, an alleged attempt to bribe court staff, which was never proven. Okay, I understand. Maybe they didn't find him guilty. I guess it doesn't really tell you here. But the fact that he's with Shinawatra and they're going to install him, I don't understand why they're going to do that. But this is the thing. They're telling you things here, and it doesn't tell you the whole story. There's a lot more things that you really need to know, and I don't think we'll ever know them, so you leave it to the Thais. That's what I think about most things. Leave it to the Thais. The Thais will figure it out. They don't need me to help them figure everything out. So, simple as that. If you don't have a vote and you are not Thai, then stay out of it. That's why I never understood these protesters that are foreigners. They're foreigners and they decide to join the protesters and actually get aggressive with weapons towards the Thai government. Keep your nose out of their business. That's how I look at it. Keep your nose out of their business, and basically you can hope for certain things, you can want certain things. If there's any way that you can help, well, maybe then you help. But other than that, keep your nose out of their business. That's the best thing. Anyway, I think it's been a nice little chat today. And I'm not sure where I'll be, what I'm doing on Friday. I do have an idea of what I'm doing on Sunday. But we will see. We'll see about everything. So, thank you very much for joining me. I appreciate it. I appreciate the donation, Jim. Thank you very much. Thank you, Carnivore. Appreciate that. And I guess that's it. So until next time, I am Scott. I'm an American in Bangkok. Chok di leo jakan mai. That's good luck and see you later. And I'll see you when I see you. That's about it. Catch you later, Jim. Later, Gator. Later to everybody out there. 34 people watching. At least there's 34 people watching. We have 35 thumbs up, which I really like. Thank you very much. Remember to click smash the like button. Subscribe, hit the notification bell, and all that good stuff. And I will see you guys later. Adios. Jerk and mine. Hope and mine. All that good stuff.